Welcome to the ProQuest Central tutorial video. So we are going to get started. First thing you're going to want to do is open your internet browser, whichever one that you prefer. And from here you have a couple of different options. So the first option to get to library stuff is to do library.edu. And this is going to take you directly to the libraries page. You can also go from your MyClark. So if you're in your MyClark, you're going to scroll down, or at least scroll until you see the card that says Academic Resources, and then you're going to click on Library from there. So if we go to our MyClark, and then we are going to scroll until we find Academic Resources and look for Library. Either option will take you to where you need to go. So from here, what you can do is you can either scroll down and utilize the ProQuest Central kind of like a basic search box to get started. Or you can go in from databases. So if we go from databases, you can click on ProQuest Central that's over here on the right side under where it says featured databases. You can also look for it alphabetically under P. Either one is going to get you to the same place, and they do look slightly differently. So we'll kind of like navigate ourselves back to the search box just because this might be the first place that you start. So in this case, as we're looking for either popular or maybe even scholarly articles, we'd first start with our topic. So let's say that we are really interested in looking at stuff related to counterculture. So we would plug that in as our topic, and we're going to kind of get this this large kind of start. So so some of the things that we might do just like right off the bat is we might look at some different ways of filtering our results just to make it easier for us to deal with, because as you can tell, as we're kind of just even basic looking at our results, we're kind of just examining it. We've got things like trade journals, we have newspapers, we have scholarly journals, with lots of different things kind of going on here, as well as some different boxes that also are showing up too. So over on the right side, you might see things like books that match your search, or maybe articles that match your search. Essentially, this area over here is just for kind of suggesting more things to you. So as you're doing your searching and you're looking for stuff, you may see over there on that right side more suggestions, more things for you to try. Over on the left side is where you're going to find your ways of filtering your results. So if you notice, you'll see where it says limit to, you're going to automatically see your full text and your peer-reviewed options. You do want to make sure that you utilize both of these. Your full text for your access, to make sure that you're getting kind of the best access to journal articles and other materials, possibly quicker in that case as well, making sure that you're kind of landing on results faster, being able to grab those articles kind of quicker. Your peer-reviewed stuff, obviously, because you want to be finding the highest quality, the best stuff that you can find, and not being kind of stuck looking at things that are not really going to be very helpful for you in the long run. You'll also notice underneath that there is the category of source type. Source type essentially just means kind of what's the format. So you can see that it says scholarly journals, books, audio and video, dissertations, newspapers, that sort of thing. So what you can do is, if one of those sounds more interesting to you, let's say you just want to look at scholarly journals, you can click on that option and it's going to update and give you those instead. You'll also notice if we scroll down a little bit, you'll see publication date. So we have options on here for that are kind of built in already. So like the last 12 months, do you want to look at what's just been published within the year, or at least within the past 12 months? Could sometimes be the entire year, depending. Last 5, last 10. Last 10 is going to be really helpful, especially if you're needing to keep it within that kind of 10 years industry standard publication date. Then there's also subject, document type. Document type would really only kind of be helpful if you're looking specifically for, like, you just want to find news, you just want to look at commentary, like that sort of thing. There's also language. If we go on to more filters, there might be some other different things in here that might be interesting as well. But these are going to be kind of the ones that help get you started. So we're going to do full text, we're going to do peer-reviewed, we're going to say scholarly journals, we might even say last 10 years. There we go. And that has given us significantly less things to be overwhelmed by. So if in the case, like let's say that we were looking, and let's say that we saw an article in here that we were like, oh, that sounds interesting. I'd maybe like to take a look at that. You can do that. So let's take a look at this blurry line between corporation and cult. So we can kind of get some basic details on it. We also have the options underneath. You're going to see where it says abstract/details, full text, and then full text PDF. So it gives you a few different options to start with. So the first option of abstract and details, what that's going to do is it's going to kind of dump out to kind of just list everything out. So it's going to give you the abstract in its entirety, so you could read that to help you figure out whether or not this is a helpful tool for your research. You can look at the subject, or even like the keywords that were used or that are kind of attached to this article, assigned to it, and see if that maybe helps you to change your search terms that you're using. You can look at things like who is the author, what's the publication title, how many pages is it, a lot of that kind of different information. It's going to have the document URL, which is more or less the same as like a permalink if you need to use the permalink, which can just be a really great way to get back to something, especially if you didn't download or print it. Makes it a little bit easier. As I said, over there on the right side, you're going to see things like suggested sources. So those are going to be other articles that are going to be maybe similar, or maybe talk about similar things to what you are looking at already. You're also going to see things like search with indexing terms. So if you saw any of those terms and thought perhaps those might be helpful to add to my search, you could utilize those as well. You're also going to have options up there on the top right side for things like downloading the PDF, citing it, printing. If you click on all options, it's going to give you that permalink that's up there at the very top. There's some other different like methods and stuff on here too, for cloud saving and that sort of thing if you need to use those. So if we go back to our results, you'll also see that there is that other option for there's a full text. So if you click on full text, it's going to just give you the full text of the article, all kind of on the site itself. If you click on full text PDF, it's going to give it to you as a PDF file. So really kind of depends on how you want to access and look at the article. PDF is probably by far going to be one of the easiest, just because of how you would download and kind of access it. Having that access to the PDF would be quite helpful. So this is just kind of some of the basic of kind of looking at and getting started with ProQuest Central. If we kind of come up here towards the top, we're actually going to hop out of there, and we'll I'll just briefly show you. So if we went from databases, we'll go from the featured databases over on the side. You're going to see that visually it looks different. So this is going from the kind of like home page of ProQuest. So it's going to be going from like the basic search outside of that search box that we used at first. So same sort of thing. If you went in from here, what you could do is you could type in your topic, utilize that search box. You could also click on full text and peer reviewed to um, kind of limit things. You can also go through and click on some of these different options for like scholarly journals, books, videos, that sort of thing. You can kind of click through those as well. And then there's even some things kind of like further down, just like tips and things that you can get directly through ProQuest itself. And there's also an advanced search as well. So the advanced search is really going to be helpful for if you know that your topic is already a bit more complex, maybe you have a bit more kind of specifics that you have like determined that you want to stick with in relation to your topic, you might utilize the advanced search where you have access to more search boxes that you can combine your search terms together to make a search string. So in this case, it would be like, let's say that you're looking maybe at like something like PTSD, so like post-traumatic stress disorder, but you want to specifically look at it in relation to, um, like a specific age. So maybe you want to look at it in relation to teenagers. Maybe you want to look at it specifically in relation to women or to men. Maybe you want to look at it in relation to another mental illness or another condition, something like that. You could also do as well. And directly underneath that, you have your full text and your peer-reviewed options as well as your publication date. And then there's even some things kind of further down that you could utilize as well. So like I said, this is really just kind of a basic like getting started. And obviously if you have any questions and you would like further assistance, please reach out and let us know.